Greetings, everyone, from the dank basement. This is Paul Shellbetter, also known as your Uncle Squinty, and today's series of 3 short videos is all about nicotine and its effects in your body. Now, before we continue, remember, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional, and if you want to verify what I'm saying to you in these videos, you ought to go talk to your own doctor. Do your own research online or in libraries, even better. Find a book, learn about the effects of nicotine, because I can only tell you what I've discovered, and frankly, my information might be somewhat incorrect or out of date. So be sure to check what I'm saying with your healthcare professional, and don't take my word for anything. I am not a doctor, although God knows I've played amateur gynecologist quite often. All right. One of the things that we can speculate about, and again, not coming from a medical perspective, is how to rid the body of nicotine if you're trying to quit. Remember, nicotine is an addicting drug, and according to the standard model used by all kinds of drug rehab programs, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and so on, you need to completely withdraw from the drug in order to kick the addiction. And even then, you haven't kicked it, you're just recovering, because you'll always be an addict. I think there's some truth to that. Although I know a bunch of former alcoholics, although the AA people will be mad at me for saying it, but former alcoholics who now drink socially and in a controlled manner, and they don't have a problem. But let's face it, nicotine is an addicting drug. We are all addicted if we use nicotine, including nasal snuff. Well, the first thing we need to realize while we withdraw from nicotine is that nicotine is water soluble. You can dilute, just like you can dilute alcohol with water, you can dilute nicotine with water. So as we're purging our system of nicotine, and incidentally THC and probably a few other nasties, taking a lot of water will help. And I mean water, not caffeinated colas or coffee, because those will trigger your craving for nicotine. But drink a lot of water, because nicotine is water soluble. To avoid eating, I know a lot of people gain a lot of weight when they quit smoking because A, food tastes better, B, they're trying to find something to do with their mouth, and oral sex is not an option, nor is sucking their thumb, and C, well, food is delicious and yummy, and we like it. So you want to avoid gaining weight, keep sugar-free gum, mints, that kind of thing on hand. But remember, cigarette tobacco particularly, and nasal snuff too, contain sugar. There's a lot of sugar in your cigarette, probably as much as 8 milligrams of sugar in every cigarette. If that is the case, you're going to be also suffering from some sugar deprivation. So you might want to keep small candies, sugary candies on hand. Don't abuse them once in a while, just to stop that. Third thing you need to do is change your playground, change your playmates. If you're around smokers all the time, you got to get away from them. Tell them you're taking a holiday from them. Tell them you love them. It's a pure respect, but you got to stay away from cigarette smoke. And they probably will understand. It is not easy to kick nicotine. Even harder if you smoke it. Second to injecting it, smoking a substance is the fastest way to get it into your system. So if you remember your Psychology 101 and things like schedules of reinforcement, you realize the faster you get that hit from doing the drug, the more likely it is that you'll become an addict and continue to use it. So you want to avoid smoking if you can, and if you can't avoid nicotine, I strongly suggest, as a non-doctor, that you try nasal snuff. Look, if you're not currently a nicotine addict, if you don't use nicotine, please don't start. You don't need it in your life. There are better addictions to have, including exercise and masturbation. But if you are addicted to nicotine, I suggest using a safer, or what I believe to be a safer alternative, such as Swedish snus or nasal snuff, while you're kicking the habit. If you can't kick the habit, at least change the habit in such a way that you're doing yourself less damage. From the dank basement, not a doctor, but ladies, I have the gynecological table and the whole deal. Let's rock. I'm kidding. If my wife heard me say that, she'd kill me. And then it would be enema clinic around here. And guess who would be getting the water up the butt? Wouldn't be her. From the dank basement, perverted as always, thinking of all kinds of nasty, evil stuff to do with members of the opposite sex. This is your wicked Uncle Squiddy. I better shut up before I get in trouble. Bye.